I thought we were going to see one of two things. We were going to see what we saw, where she's like, guys, I'm a freaking Mo, and I'm going to dominate. Or we could see her kind of like, ooh, she's kind of a little rusty and kind of barely squeaks by with like a 2-flat 159 win. We saw the prior. We saw a completely controlled demolition.
You saw the I'm freaking Athing Mu version?
Yeah, I saw she's her. 158. Time doesn't really mean much to me, but it's still like a good time. It's more about the separation. She was able to separate easily from Sage Herder-Klecker and Allie Wilson. Now, Sage Herder-Klecker and Allie Wilson are not
Keely Hodgkinson
or Mary Mora. Mm-hmm. But they are legit. They could
be on the team.
They're running 150. Like Allie Wilson can run 157 on a perfect day. Like
yeah.
And Sage Herder-Klecker is a legitimate sub-2 type runner. So they are. It wasn't like she was beating a bunch of scrubs. She was beating A- tier 800-meter runners, and to be able to pull away that easily lets me know that she is on pace to be, in contention to win against Keely Hodgkinson. I think Hodgkinson is a lot better than she was last year, but Mo doesn't look like she's worse than last year right now off this first race.
No, and from 200 to go to 150 to go, she put the whole thing to bed.
Yeah.
If you were worried about it, then you saw the camera angle switch when she came off the curve, like, oh, she's going to win by a lot. And then the margin just grew from there. I thought, though, this could have been closer if Ajay Wilson ran her normal Ajay Wilson self, which would have been 159. She had an off day. She rarely has an off day. She finished last and
jogged at the end.
207. So I don't know what the issue was with her. Hopefully she's good for USA's. But you could see her running 159 in there, and then the margin wouldn't be as big. But the reality is Athing Mu put 2 seconds on this field in the last 200 meters, and definitely could have handled a more aggressive start. She didn't even go. No one went with the rabbit. They all just went with Athing Mu. It was kind of funny.
So she could have put 8 seconds on the field if she started from the beginning.
Well, I think that's not how it works. But I thought this is exactly when I was thinking about the race, previewing it. I said she's just going to do what she has to do to win, but she's also not going to leave it to the last second. And I think this was her being as restrained as possible. Again, just as the case in the quarter, though, there's real legit competition waiting outside of the United States. And for Athing Mu, it's Keely Hodgkinson, who's already run 155. So, she's going to need to be in top form, but she has a lot of time to do it. And now, 8 weeks to go until Budapest? Plenty of time to get where she needs to be, but that is going to be an awesome race. And maybe we'll even see them run before Worlds. Not likely, but we might. And that would be great.
So we asked her... Our contributor, Anderson, did a great job getting all of our
shout out to Anderson.
At the NYC Grand Prix. Asked about 1,500 versus 800. She said, just like, my coach decides. We don't know. We're still deciding. I think she's not running the fifth. I think can she run the 15 at USA's without a time?
John did a report on that. He said that he asked some people at USA.
Because she's a defending champion, she's allowed to just run whatever she wants.
Right,
okay.
Basically. Yeah.
So she could just... I think she doesn't run... I think she might just run a 15 first round and then call it a day.
Or why you could run 8 first round.
Yeah, 8 first round is all day. Yeah.
She's so good in the 400. It's just funny that we're having this conversation about her doubling and it doesn't involve the 400.
Which you could argue may potentially even be her best event.
Right.
Because she's right now not on the entries.
For the 800?
For anything,
mm-hmm.
But the entries close in a day or two.
Step 1, get entered.
Get entered.
In the meet.
That's
step 2.
Always the first step.
Yeah, choose the event. And then step 3.
No, first step, wake up.
Run the event.
Brush your teeth.
Go to the bathroom. Make your to-do list.
Changed.
Yeah. I think...
Enter the meet.
I think if you're a Athing Mu fan, I think you're just really happy based on the margin of victory. And
I was concerned that Athing Mu was going to be...
Well, Sandra Chadras doing commentary at the first lap was concerned, and I think a lot of other people were like, wait a minute, is this like where she's at? But then things just changed so quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, she's clearly in form now. She's definitely where she was last year. I think the challenge is that last year I don't think is going to be enough to beat this year's Hodgkinson. She's got to be back to 2021 Athing Mu, and maybe even quicker than that if she's going to get the gold.